Happy Thursday, everyone. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with an update to the forecast. We have had a wonderful week here over the last few days. It has been a little bit hot at times, but we've had temperatures now cool off a little bit, and that's thanks to the fact that we have some shower activity that's been passing through, including the chance for a few showers and storms as we head throughout this afternoon. We already have some of those storms moving into parts of North Georgia, looking up into the Rome area, then stretching all the way up into Pickens County, northern Bartow County, northern Cherokee County, seeing those storms continue to make their way down to the south and east. Sometimes bringing with it some heavy rainfall, seeing a lot of lightning associated with some of these storms. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at some of these that are making their way again in as we head throughout this afternoon. This is going to be into far north portions of Cherokee County, up into Pickens County as well. You see them all kind of making their way down towards the south and east, and they're going to be heading closer on over to the Lake Lanier area. If you have any friends or family on the lake this afternoon here for Thursday, as of about 2:32 in the afternoon, go ahead and give them a phone call. Make sure that they can get off the lake. That way they don't end up trapped by one of these storms and having to take shelter in a cove. Best to just be off the lake whenever you have lightning and then also some strong winds. National Weather Service has been watching these storms, and as of 2:32 in the afternoon on Thursday, it's looking like 50-mile-per-hour winds in parts of this storm. So again, very strong winds, not considered severe, but definitely considered a strong storm. We also have a lot more thunderstorm activity over towards the Coleman, Alabama area, making its way across the I-65 corridor towards I-59. This will move across Gadsden, and then, yes, eventually that will arrive on our doorstep later on today. So let's take a look at what we have outside right now. First of all, we'll look over towards the Noonan area. Looking like just a little bit of clouds popping up here and there. And then we look out towards the Northside Hospital area at Georgia 400, I-285. Starting to see that cloud cover thicken up a little bit more. Out towards the airport, everything moving smoothly. See a plane taking off there. As we head throughout this afternoon, though, we may end up seeing a few delays by the fact that we do have some of those showers and storms passing through. Now, those showers and storms are also going to keep our temperatures a little bit cooler. Over the last 30 days, we've only had 3 days that have brought temperatures below 90 degrees. Now, it's looking like for today, we may add to that. We may end up having temperatures avoid that 90-degree mark again. It's possible we still hit 90, but we're thinking more upper 80s here for today here at 11 Alive. 98 degrees is the hottest temperature we've had so far this year. That was on July 29th. You see on the top 5 hottest temperatures so far this year. July shows up a lot. July was a very hot month. I think it was the 7th hottest July on record. Meteorologist Nicole Hartford was looking up a lot of that data here just a few days ago and made a great graphic on it. Yeah, it was a very hot one. As we head throughout the next few days here, or over the next few hours rather even, we're going to continue to have the rain chances ramp up. You're going to want to make sure you have a way to track some of these storms. Make sure you download that 11 Alive app. It can give you live looks at the radar whenever you're on the go. Send in your weather wow moments. Check the forecast, like right what we have at the moment. 89 at the airport. It's possible that we hit 90 before that shower arrives. So it is hot out there, but hopefully some shower activity will cool us off and keep us from hitting that 90-degree mark. Now, as we head throughout tonight, temperatures will eventually drop down to the 70s. We're still going to have the chance for rain. Also, that 11 Alive app, great whenever we have the chance for strong storms, like severe weather, which we have the potential for today. Some of these storms could be strong to severe. We have a level 2 risk here up towards far northwest Georgia and stretching into northern Alabama, up into Tennessee. A level 1 risk for pretty much everybody else, meaning that we could have a few isolated showers and storms that could become strong to severe. Again, we've been watching those storms dip their way down to the south, mainly north of the Atlanta metro as of the early afternoon hours on Thursday. But for later on today, this does push down to the south and east. Looking off to our north and west, you saw that this big complex of storms that was over portions of Missouri, southern Illinois, western portions of Kentucky, it kind of fell apart a little bit, but now it's starting to reform again, and that's what's going to be impacting us this afternoon. So let's look at the timeline for this. The main threat with these storms, by the way, is going to be damaging wind, but a brief spin-up tornado could also be possible, something that we'll keep a close eye on, but again, that tornado risk is very low. It's not going to be as significant as the types of storms we typically get in the fall and early on in the spring. Again, this is more of those summertime thunderstorms that bring the potential for damaging wind. So by 3 p.m., temperatures in the 80s and 90s. We see the storms passing through the Atlanta metro for the 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame. That evening commute is going to be impacted by rainfall. Be ready for that. Some of that rain could even be heavy. Make sure that you check the forecast before you drive home, because you want to make sure that you don't put yourself in a dangerous situation if there is a severe storm. You can download that 11 Alive app. It can let you know not just about the rain that's going to be impacting you, but also if there's any traffic incidents that you may want to avoid. So again, great tool to have in your pocket. Taking a look at Friday by 2 a.m., still a few thunderstorms out there, and then we make our way into Friday at 9 a.m. Going to see some storms off to our west. Know that it's possible those storms could be a little bit further east and over us for Friday morning. So know that we could be impacted by storms even as of 9 a.m. on Friday. For the afternoon, our rain chances will ramp up a little bit. You saw some of those storms withering out as they dipped their way down to the south and east. I think we're still going to end up with a few showers and storms there for Friday afternoon. Moving into the day on Saturday, I do think we're going to start to see rain chances dip down a little bit, starting off with temperatures in the 70s. Moving into the afternoon, still going to have a few isolated showers and storms, temperatures in the 90s, just not going to be as much rain as what we're having for today and Friday. Still, though, you may have to dodge some raindrops there for your Saturday. There you see it, a 30% chance for rain, 30% chance in on Sunday as well, and on Monday. Then those rain chances ramp up again by the time we head into Tuesday. So a significant amount of rainfall is going to be possible as we head throughout the next week. I think a lot of that rain is going to be occurring today and tomorrow, but we're still going to have some pretty decent shots of rainfall here for the weekend and even into early next week. Here's how much rain we could expect. Those spots where you're seeing the brighter red show up, that's where we could get about 3 inches of rain. So we're talking anywhere from about 1 inch to 3 inches of rainfall widespread across North Georgia over this next week. That should continue to help us push away from any drought that has formed, which, by the way, the Drought Monitor updated this morning. Every Thursday it comes out with the latest update on the map, and you can see that we do have abnormally dry conditions now for parts of North Georgia, mainly areas south and west in Atlanta, all the way over towards the Alabama state line. Now remember, parts of Atlanta have had a significant amount of rainfall as we move through July, but the airport really missed out on it. July was actually, we finished 3 inches behind average for the month, and we are now well behind for the year, more than 3 inches behind on rain for the year in Atlanta. But it's not that way for everybody. There are parts of North Georgia that have had a significant amount of rainfall, and they are way ahead. Covington, you're just a little under 1 inch ahead of average for this time of year. Athens, though, way ahead on rainfall. You see they're about a little less than 8 inches ahead of average for this time of year. You look at Rome, they're about 9 inches ahead for this time of year, a little more than that. So Floyd County, you're doing fine on rainfall. And much of the region for areas north and east of the Atlanta metro, you're not really hurting for rain at all. But Atlanta itself could use a little bit more in the way of rain. Let's switching gears and taking a look at the tropics. We do have no chance for tropical development over the next 7 days in the Atlantic. It is quiet out there. That little wave that we were watching kind of in the western Atlantic, not far from the United States, but far enough away that it wasn't really a concern. That wave has now dissipated, so no threat there. But over towards the Pacific, activity continues to be a little bit more significant. While this isn't really threatening land, you see it would even go south of Hawaii. We are watching Hurricane Dora, which is a major hurricane in the eastern Pacific at the moment. It's expected to track its way off towards the west, weaken as it moves into a little bit cooler water there south of Hawaii, and then just likely collapse as it tries to trek its way across the Pacific. So pretty significant storm out there. Of course, Dora is their fourth name on the list. They go by a different set of names, though, in the Pacific compared to the Atlantic. So Dora is their fourth name storm. Ours was Don. Don didn't really impact anything. It just kind of spun out there over the Atlantic for a little bit. Our next name storm, if we do get one, would be Emily. So we still have a lot of the season to go. Peak of the season isn't until we head towards September 10th. I always like to say the last 2 weeks of August, first 2 weeks of September, that's really when activity peaks in the Atlantic Basin and over towards the Gulf of Mexico as well. Then we start to see things calm down, but you can still get significant storms in months like October and sometimes, yes, even in November. But the season ends come November 30th, so we're all looking forward to that date. Looking at your 7-day forecast, here's what we can expect here in North Georgia throughout the next week. Seeing a 50% chance for showers and storms as we head throughout the day there on Thursday, on Friday, 88 degrees for the high. Looking at Saturday, 91, 93 there on Sunday, and then 91 on Monday, 30% chance for rain there each day. And then we head into Thursday, a 40% chance for rain, and then Wednesday, the driest day of the week, hitting 90 for the high, partly cloudy. You know, that's not too bad. As long as we end up seeing a little bit of drier air in there, we may end up seeing that whizometer number really bump up. Maybe one of the best days that we've had in a while, especially with all the storms that we have possible throughout this next week. So, for this next week, you saw a lot of temperatures in the 90s. That is slightly above average for this time of year. To see temperatures at 92, 93, 90 degrees is the average high for this time of year in Atlanta. And slightly above average isn't just what we're going to be dealing with over the next 7 days. Right now, you're looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, and it looks like that trend is going to continue. We're also going to be dealing with a little bit of above average rainfall. So that could continue to help communities like here in Atlanta, where we've been a little bit behind on rainfall. Maybe we can catch up a little bit to make sure that we can finish the year on a solid amount of rain, right? We don't want too much, but we also don't want too little. Let's see if we can get right there at that sweet spot, right on average for this time of year. Your weekend getaway showing us that as we head throughout this next few days. First of all, for Friday, looking like showers and storms all across the weekend getaway areas. Saturday, going to be a little bit drier there for Gatlinburg at least, and up towards Lake Lanier, maybe getting a little bit of a break here and there. Remember, a few isolated showers and storms will still be possible, so just make sure that you have a way to keep an eye on things with the radar. And then as we head into Sunday and Monday, seeing some showers and storms continue for areas like Lake Lanier, Gatlinburg, Destin. You do see Savannah and Charleston. We'll get a little bit of a break there on Sunday, though. And then your Peach State outlook, if you're traveling across the state of Georgia throughout the next 3 days, you see that a lot of spots are going to be dealing with that shower and thunderstorm possibility. And then back to your Georgia State Park forecast. Again, tomorrow, going to have the chance for rain. Make sure that you're being careful out there on those hikes. Have a way to receive alerts. The 11 Alive app again, great to have. And then also make sure that you're drinking plenty of water if you're going to be out there in that heat. So let's bring it back up on the 7-day forecast. Again, we are going to have the updates every Monday and Thursday. That way you can stay updated on what you can expect for the week ahead. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is in the building right now. He's going to be keeping an eye on the storms that we have possible this afternoon. Our newscast starts at 5 on 11 Alive, having the latest update on that here for this Thursday, and then keeping you updated all the way throughout this evening. Meteorologist Melissa Nord, of course, Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb, as I mentioned a second ago, and myself are going to be in here keeping an eye on these storms, keeping you updated, and any storms we may have tomorrow morning, Meteorologist Chesley McNeil will be in here tracking those. Of course, we'll keep you updated on 11alive.com anytime in between and with your 11 Alive app. I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you, and we'll keep you updated all throughout the weekend right here at 11 Alive.